Bruno, tell about yourself and your way in Polkadot ecosystem.
I'm Bruno, and I've been in the crypto ecosystem since 2015 with the advent of Ethereum. I've been focusing on education since then. For about 3 years, I was running my own education portal to get Web 2.0 developers over to Web 3.0. I then worked on one of the Ethereum 2.0 teams for a while before transitioning into the Web3 Foundation to be their technical educator, where I still am today.
How did you decide to start RMRK?
I decided to start RMRK sometime in August or September last year when I noticed that the NFT craze was ramping up again in the Ethereum ecosystem. And because the Kusama blockchain, which is Polkadot's Canary blockchain, Canary sister network, has evolved into an art-friendly, cypherpunky blockchain, I felt like it would be a shame if Kusama missed out on that NFT craze. So I figured let's hack NFTs onto the chain, even though it doesn't have smart contracts. And so I came up with a set of specifications and rules on how to interpret custom messages from the chain and basically see NFTs where there aren't real smart contract based NFTs. So in a way you can imagine this as walking around town, seeing a blue turtle graffiti on a garage door, and if you were a civilian you would think, that's a nice picture, or you would think some vandals did this, but you wouldn't care very much, right? But if you were the member of a gang called Red Turtles, you would know to interpret this graffiti as a warning, like do not go further. And this is because these gangs share a common language that only they understand, and everybody else just sees a random message that they can't derive the meaning from. And so what RMRK does, it puts similar graffiti onto the chain where these tools and specifications and rules that I wrote interpret these graffiti in specific ways. And from these interpretations, you actually get real values, like real NFTs and properties of those NFTs.
What is the key features of RMRK?
Now, RMRK did start as a basic NFT interface for just very essential NFTs. But we have since partnered with Unique Network to deploy RMRK standards natively on their chain, so it is actually going to have logic support, and we'll also be launching as smart contracts on Moonbeam and on some other chains, but our priority right now is Unique. The goal is to remain Kusama native, so as soon as Unique connects to Kusama, then we will launch on their platform. The ultimate goal is to just enable, enhance, and grow the NFT ecosystem on Kusama and all of its sister chains, but RMRK on its own is actually compatible with Polkadot and actually any other substrate-based chain. So of all the hundreds of chains that are coming up, RMRK is already compatible with all of them, whether or not they have smart contracts built in. Some other very interesting features that are coming in RMRK 2.0 are actually the ability for NFTs to own other NFTs. So think about in-game characters and their inventory. Then you will have conditional rendering, which basically affects what is shown as part of the NFT. So if you have a sub-NFT, then show this graphic. Or for example, if you flip this switch on the NFT, which the owner can flip at any time, then show different graphics. So like for example, if you have an image of a bird and then you flip the switch to say from red to blue, then the bird is going to turn blue. So this conditional rendering is also in there. Then there's reactivity on the NFTs. So we have this mechanic of sending emoticons to the NFTs, which is great for conditional rendering. So you can say like if this digital image of a moon gets 50 rocket emoji, then draw a rocket on it. But you can also use it as an early market indicator, because when people emote to an NFT without actually trying to buy it, without bidding on it, then you can actually see that the NFT is interesting and it's generating some discussion, some emotion. And so this is a good early market indicator. We will also have some other upgrades for NFTs that when put together, basically, like for example, multi-resource NFTs, which we'll be adding. These are, imagine making an NFT of a 3D model. And so that NFT can have a high resolution photo of that 3D model, a thumbnail of that 3D model, and a actual 3D file. And so if you load it into 3ds Max, it will automatically know to load the 3D file, but if you show it in OpenSea, it will show you the high resolution photo, because it depends on what client loads it, how it's going to display. And when you put all of this together, you get these art Legos that you can put together and compose and come up with really innovative, dynamic, and constantly evolving NFTs that can change depending on outside influence, on people's reactions to them, and on some on-chain values. And I think this is really, really powerful, where we move NFTs away from the concept of just being things that collect digital dust. You just buy them and keep them in a wallet. And you're now actually getting utility NFTs. And so utility NFTs will have a long-lasting use and will be able to evolve as the platform they're on also evolves. And I think this is really exciting and really interesting.
What are the future plans for Canaria?
So Canaria is our is three things at once. So it is our tech demo to show how our technology works, because we've built all of this logic on the chain without smart contracts, and so this is kind of like our tech demo of what's possible. It is our stress test, so that we see how well we did it, and how viable it is to release into the public domain, so that other people can also launch stuff like Canaria. So Canaria right now is kind of like this NFT ICO, NFT initial collectible offering. But other people can just reuse this to launch their own NFT ICOs if this turns out well. So this is why we're testing the system in production. And the third reason why we made Canaria is to fundraise for the RMRK team, which is now a full-time team who will evolve the standard, write tools for it, write test suites for it, and expand it all over the network, all over the Kusama ecosystem. So these are the plans for Canaria in the immediate future. In the long term, these eggs that people buy on Canaria will hatch into dynamic birds. So these birds will follow the RMRK 2.0 standard and have all of these different NFT upgrades that we've developed. But you will also be able to attach certain items and traits to these birds, which will give you permanent platform-specific bonuses. So for example, you can have a discount trait on this bird, so that if you have this bird in your wallet, you will have a free service on various RMRK services that we'll offer, like launching your own ICO might be free if you have a certain bird. But also we have partnerships with other projects in the ecosystem where by just owning a certain bird, you will get a benefit on that platform. So you can imagine something like SushiSwap on Moonbeam having their DeFi farms. And so your liquidity providing on those farms and getting a certain percentage per year in interest, right, in earning fees. But if you have a specific bird that has the sushi trait on it, then you might actually get an APY boost, so a higher percentage on your earnings. And this is how we'll develop these partnerships with other projects in the ecosystem. Additionally, because of our nested NFT system where NFTs can own NFTs, these NFTs are automatically compatible with games. So they can be just natively implemented into games. You can have inventories, and then you basically have a built-in peer-to-peer marketplace of NFT items that you can trade between games and between game verses. So these are the long-term plans for Canaria, and this is why we're running this kind of public claim process to actually get the funds so that we can, get all of this technology out there.
How many people are already get their Kanaria Eggs? Give us some statistics and what to expect from this project.
Right now we have had around 2,500 to 3,000 eggs have been claimed. We would like to get to at least 50%. This would be great for both for the stress test of the system and for the diversity of ownership, so that more people have different birds and different eggs. Because every egg that is not claimed will actually be burned. So when the public claim period is over, the unclaimed eggs will be burnt and the supply will be reduced, which will make the eggs much more valuable, because there will be fewer of them in the world. But the more eggs from a given category, and there are 4 categories, limited edition, rare, founder, and super founder, the more eggs from a given category are claimed, the more bonus traits those egg types actually get. So by claiming more, you actually improve all of the eggs for everybody. They'll get more powerful. So it's kind of a fine line to balance on. And our expectations are that this model of using this composite NFT system will actually inspire innovation across the ecosystem, not just on Kusama, but also on Ethereum, which seems stuck in just selling pixel-based art right now. And we would like to see that changed. We'd like to see added utility to all of the other NFTs out there in the ecosystem. So this is why we took kind of a similar approach to Ether cards from Ethereum and actually made it so that these NFTs can evolve over time, that you can upgrade them, and that you have long-lasting value from them, so that you actually want to use them. This was, of course, prohibitive to do on Ethereum, because on Ethereum, a single emote to an NFT would cost like $100. And this is why Kusama is quite a good blockchain for this. Not just it's art focused, but it's also cheap and has other advantages ahead of Ethereum in this regard.
How to increase uniqueness and value of the egg that someone claimed?
So the way you can increase the value and uniqueness of the egg that somebody claimed is you give it special and unique emotes. The best approach you could take is actually taking a look at what other people emoted with. And if you want a really unique egg, you go the other way. So you put in emotes that very few people or no people have. And so if you manage to get a lot of people to emote with those emoticons on your egg, then you increase your chances of getting your bird to be extremely different from other birds. And we think this mechanic is going to be very interesting because there are hundreds of emotes you can use. And it's also a challenge for us artistically to come up with everything that's going to be compatible and land in its right place. But we think it's going to be really exciting when you see the birds and when they're finally generated, and especially when the peer-to-peer trading marketplace starts, when you can trade birds with other people and also trade the NFTs on the birds with other people. We think the universe is going to expand vastly, and that it's going to be it's going to turn into an extremely interesting game and marketplace.